Take the war to them.
Take the war to them. I agree with you. All right, gentlemen, still talking about the war against terror. In the war against terror, every victory comes at a cost, but every gain signals hope. Troops of Operation Hiding Kai have discovered a mass grave in Timbuktu Triangle in Borno State containing the bodies of 20 terrorists. The media information officer of the Theatre Command, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, disclosed this in a statement. According to him, in the latest phase of operation, troops successfully cleared and dominated key terrorist locations across the triangle, including Tegenjeri, Chiralia, and the Ajingi general areas. Lieutenant Colonel Uba also revealed that in the course of the attack, some gallant soldiers and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force paid the supreme price, while others sustained injuries. The wounded were promptly evacuated by the Nigerian Army aviation helicopters to 7th Division Medical Services and Hospital. Now, despite this, he said across the theatre, the security situation remains stable. Now, let's share this story with you.
In the latest phase of their operations, soldiers successfully cleared and dominated key terrorist enclaves, including Terjejeri, Chilaria, and the Ajigin Abirma general areas. During the advance, troops made intermittent contact with fleeing insurgents and engaged them decisively, killing several terrorists in the process. The operation took a dramatic turn while troops were consolidating at a harbor area about 6 kilometers north of Chilaria. Soldiers encountered 2 vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices, VPIEDs. Through alertness and swift response, one of the devices was successfully destroyed. The second VPIED, however, breached the defensive position, affecting some logistics platforms. During the incident, some soldiers and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force lost their lives, while others sustained injuries. The wounded were promptly evacuated by Nigerian Army aviation helicopters to the 7th Division Medical Service and Hospital, with Nigerian Air Force platforms providing aerial cover. Troops later uncovered mass graves containing about 20 terrorist bodies, further indicating heavy losses suffered by insurgents in the area.
And even now, as we speak,
the military says operations are ongoing, with troops maintaining pressure on fleeing terrorists as efforts continue to restore peace and security across the northeast. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
Journalist hangouts. We still have Tony Waje right here, and BK is still here. So, looking at this story, the Nigerian Army going into the heart of Timbuktu Triangle, but how significant is it, penetrating the Timbuktu Triangle, given its history as an ISWAP operation hub?
Base. I salute the Nigerian Army. Yeah, it's not easy for them. When you sleep, they have to take battling.
Exactly.
This I don't want to battling these people, who are continuously giving Nigeria a bad name. Protecting the nation. It's not easy. They belong to families too. Just to make sure that the country, these guys are not destroyed. We can't continue to run the country like this.
Exactly, we can't.
And I think it's a victory for the military. I mean, those corpses, and I know it happens like that. When they kill them, they bury them secretly and all that. So I know they are taking the battle to them. But in doing that, we need to double our game. Yeah, we need to double the game. These guys, they don't mean well for the country.
They don't.
They don't mean well. We need to invest in military hardware more like on a daily basis. Because as we're planning, they are equally planning. They are planning at the same time. We're dealing with them, but they are taking the battle to us. We need to be proactive more. We need to be more proactive. Before they take a step, we take the step before. Don't let them react first. We react first and watch what happens. It's not easy for the military, I must say. It's not easy. It's like it's a war raging for over 10 years. You understand what it means?
Yeah, I know.
And then when you call people to come get recruited into the Nigerian military, they're scared because they know what is going to happen at the end of the day. We need more men. How do you go about it? You need time to recruit them. You need time to give them training. And you need time to deploy. And when you deploy, where do you deploy them to? because we have a raging war. So going, you don't admit it, but that's the truth. A part of the country is, I mean, what Trump did recently, so Nigeria to the world. Like people who are not aware of this before, they are like, now, oh, something like this going on because of Trump's intervention. So it tells you that, in as much as I believe we're doing excellently well, we need to double it. We need to double it. We need to take. We don't. Let's not wait for them to take a step first. We take 3 steps before they react.
I mean, looking at what Tony Wanje, does this operation signal a shift? From defensive to more aggressive, offensive doctrine?
Yeah, we've never given up the offensive doctrine. They do a lot of clearance operations. Okay. They move from point to point. The only problem is that because we don't have enough troops, this Timbuktu triangle, we have captured it a number of times. But if you don't put troops there to hold the ground, they will come back. There are different places where the Nigerian army has cleared terrorists, have dominated and sent terrorists packing from there. But if you don't put troops on ground in those places to hold the area, if the terrorists see that place as a place of value, maybe critical to receiving supplies and all that.
Supply routes.
They come back again.
They will come back. So that was the problem. I am excited about stories that I'm hearing about Timbuktu Triangle because it's a major ISWAP facility outside of the islands of Lake Chad. Timbuktu Triangle is a place that ISWAP had held for years.
Yes.
It was in the Timbuktu Triangle that a video that was leaked of a general speaking with General Buratai, saying that showing his men who are injured, showing the MRAPs that had been that had their tires deflated. It was in that area. So it's a stronghold of the enemy, But the Operation Hardin Kai, led by General Abubakar, who did a fantastic job in Plateau State, where he was GOC 3 Division. I'm happy with the work that Abdul Salam has done. I'm happy with the work. He has shown that he's a proper operations person, and the results are there for all to see. He came, he stabilized the area. There were some threats again, and he's managed to quell the threats again. So what the enemy is using against our troops now is largely vehicle-borne IEDs and other, because they can't engage our guys in kinetic battle. They don't have the capacity anymore. So all they can do now is send drones to kill our troops, send vehicle-borne IEDs to kill our troops. In terms of combat, open combat,
they can't stand.
They can't stand the Nigerian army. This is, I'm not saying this because my friends in the army, it's the reality. They are not good enough to stand men.
All right, gentlemen, enough of talking, the terrorism and all of that. Let's take a trip to River State. Let's talk something else.